What was I talking about? The other thing. Thank you. Back in 1980, I got commissioned by the Hickory Community Theatre to write a show. I was actually conducting Fiddler at the time, and every day at Fiddler, Charles Jeffers made what we called his green stamp speech, where he talked about, we'll take any kind of money, we don't give green stamps with that, everything else is good. And he would give this talk about their own musical review that was coming out next year called Caught in the Act. And it was being written as we sat there. And I said, I gotta ask Jeff who's writing Caught in the Act, because I wanted to know. So at the cast party and that show that year was Fiddler. At the cast party for Fiddler, he says, let's take a ride. So he jumps in my car and we go driving, and he says, so how would you like to write Caught in the Act for us? I said, Jeff, I've written songs, but I've never tried to write a show. He says, you can do it. I said, your faith in me is marvelous. However, I've got a lot to live up to. I said, if you can get me a good collaborator, we'll think about it. So there was this fellow they knew named Tom McClary who had gone to school with Jeff at UNCG. And they had me over they were living in an apartment at that time because the house, the Kramer house where they had lived for years and years and years, was being renovated. So they were staying at an apartment in Fox Ridge. And I went over there for dinner, and they locked me and Tom McClary in the downstairs room for an hour. And they came knocking at the door and said, well, what have you done? And I sat there with Tom for a few minutes, and I said, I've got some melodic ideas I'd like to share with you and let you kind of hear them. And one of the songs I had written was called Love Me Please, and I had no idea what the lyrics were going to be. In my mind, it took place, it was a woman auditioning for a part and begging the producers and the directors to love her work. So that was my concept for the song. And Tom sat there and wrote a couple of verses, and it was pure poetry what he wrote. He took a little girl and maybe a teenage girl and then a young woman. And there were 3 verses. We did this song in the show. It was called Love Me Please. We did it with 3 different women singing it as a trio. And Mary Lou has consented to sing it as a solo. So I want you to hear it. This is a journey back in time.
He did a little bit of poetry himself with the music.
Little girl is what he called me. If a nightmare made me cry, when my father spoke, I never wondered why. Daughters have a way of growing up to need more each night and day. But you tuck yourself in and dream of the time when you could say, love me please. Can I stay up for a while and hear one more bedtime story? Tell me please. Love me please. Little girls in lace and blue jeans, living daydreams in the sun, seeing white knights on their horses. I was one. But the only nights a woman knows are too long and dark and clear. But you keep repeating, tomorrow, tomorrow he'll be here. wants to hear me say that. Tell me, please. Love me, please. Oh, I used to have a dollhouse, dreamed a castle in the air, but I looked for them this morning, they're not there. Playing house is just a children's game. Playing love is like the dawn. It is just one moment. Oh, someone, please listen to my song and love me, please. Is there anyone out there who just wants to help me sing it? Tell me, please. Love me, love me, please. Love me, please. Love me, please.
Take a bow, Mother. Yeah. Thank you.